Ladies and gentlemen, it's match day. How's it going, folks? Welcome back to the channel. So it is finally upon us. Celtic are back in action tonight as they take on Hibs in the Scottish Premiership. It feels like a lifetime since Celtic have had a game. The extended winter break was good for injuries, was good for recovery, but now it's time to get back in action, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Celtic tonight. In this video, I'm going to do 3 things that I'd like to see from the team tonight in terms of the midfield, the defence, and the forward line, and the team in general. What I want to see from Celtic against Hibs. If you're new to the channel or you're not subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button below and like the video so more people can see him. I'm almost at 4,000 subs. Would love to get there. I want to get to 5,000, so let's keep the channel going. Subscribe to the channel below if you haven't already. Loads to come on the channel this year. But first up, it's time for the 3 things that I'd like to see from Celtic tonight against Hibernian. So the first thing that I want to see is just fluidity in the system from Celtic. It's been a couple of weeks since they've played. The niggles have probably been worn off. The tiredness is probably gone. And they've had a couple of weeks to finally work on training on Ange ball. The December period is game after game after game after game. It's actually quite tough to actually get a prolonged period of training in and for managers to stamp down their tactical ideals on the team. I've heard countless managers speak about that period. And it's basically game at the weekend, recovery Monday, Tuesday, then game on Wednesday again, and then recovery again before the game on Saturday. So it's tough actually for players to actually bed into a system that the manager's trying to play. So these couple of weeks will have given Ange loads of time to help with the new boys coming into the club, help get them sort of bed into the team, see what they want to do, see what the team's all about, see where they fit in. But as well as that, the regulars in the team can work upon what Ange is trying to do, what he's already started at the club. So he's laid the foundations in the first half of the season. Now it's time to start building. The likes of the fullbacks will have worked on the inverted system again. The forward line will have worked on their movement. The midfield will probably have worked on the attacking side of the game, breaking down the low block. So what I'm looking for from Celtic tonight is just fluidity in that. Hopefully, after a couple of weeks of working on that, and we've seen with Ange in the past, in the last couple of breaks that we've had, they've come back better. They've come back as if they know the system a little bit more, and the system is further down the road, as well as the players and their development. So that's the number one fundamental thing that I'm looking from Celtic tonight. Just not to be flat, not to be slow, not to be monotonous. Just come out of the blocks, early doors, fast pace, fast movement, loads of runs off the back of the shoulders, and just get a performance in that they can be proud of after a couple of weeks away. The second thing that I'm looking for from Celtic tonight is from the midfield. Now, we don't know what the midfield 3 is going to be. I would imagine Cal McGregor is going to start. I would imagine Tom Rogic is going to start. David Turnbull is still injured. He's going to be injured for a couple of weeks. So that really does open the door for Rio Hatate to make his debut for Celtic this evening. He is an attacking midfielder. He's an attacking presence, and he's a midfielder who likes to create. So that's what Ange was saying about him. So I'd imagine if he's ready to do so, he will come in as the third midfielder. And what I'm looking from them is creativity. So if Hatate is a creative player, that's absolutely spot on in my estimations. I want the midfield to get involved in the attack a little bit more. At times, especially when teams are playing a low block, the passing's been a bit slow. They've been liable to hold on to the ball a little bit too long, not play the pass through to Kyogo when he's making the run. And the build-up play can often be slow and repetitive and sidewards and backwards. That's not what I'm looking for from Celtic tonight. I want it to be quick movement. I want them to get the ball forward, get it into the forward line, get it out to the wingers, and get involved in the attack themselves. Be at the edge of the box for that pass to get a shot away. Rio Hatate, if he has a relationship with Maeda up front and Maeda starting, get that ball away to him early and create those chances as much as you possibly can. I think we've been overly reliant on the front 3, particularly in Jota and Kyogo, for that little bit of spark, that little bit of creativity, to create that moment of magic. I want it to come from the midfield tonight to show that they've developed in their game plan, to show that it's not just the front 3. The midfield can attack as well. And let's face it, Tom Rogic can produce moments of magic as well. So I'd love for the midfield to be involved in a goal at least this evening. The third thing that I'm looking for from Celtic this evening is just getting to see Daizan Maeda in action. The likelihood is he will start this game with Kyogo potentially out injured, with Jota potentially out injured. We're just not sure what the starting lineup is yet, but I'd love to see him in action to see what he's like. He's not coming into this game without any sort of team form. He's coming off a half a season in Japan, so he should be fit enough to play the game. It's just whether or not he's settled in Glasgow well enough, whether he's settled in with the team, whether he knows the system, whether he has these relationships in the team yet. That is probably the most important thing in terms of his early days at Celtic. But we look to have a very exciting player on our team sheet right now. And if he's starting, I think without Kyogo, Celtic are still quite strong. Now that remains to be seen, to see if he can actually bet in the same way that Kyogo did. But if he does, that means that Celtic, if Kyogo's out injured, they have a reliable replacement that is able to play a high pressing, high intensity game under Ange, and he should be able to get goals as well. So I'm just looking forward to see what kind of player he is, if he's as good as it is being reported, and if he can sort of bring that into Scotland. The physicality is different, it's a different culture, they're different teammates, it's a different style of play. So if he can translate what he's been doing in Japan, hopefully he'll be able to do in Scotland, and hopefully we will have a reliable replacement, if not another starter, in Daisen Maeda. So that's the 3 things that I'm looking to see from Celtic this evening. What are you looking to see? What do you think the result is going to be? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and like the video as well so more people can see them. Enjoy the match, folks. Let's hope that we get a win. I will have full-time reaction on the channel from the game, so join us then at about 10 o'clock this evening.